Fine. Just once again, just don't listen to me.
Oh, sure enough.
Okay.
Recorded.
Okay, I guess it is starting.
Okay.
Very good.
Well, welcome everybody to our Dropbox training. And Wes and Gay will be answering questions for us. And Wes, why don't you go ahead and start?
Okay, thanks, Sandra. So what I'm going to do is first ask those of you here if you've had a chance to look at the Dropbox Basics document that I sent out a while ago, and if so, if you have any questions about that, and also if you have any questions about any of this stuff offhand, so because I can sort of gear this towards what questions you have. And because I'm warning you, if there are no questions, then I'm just going to go into show you some things.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have any questions right now.
All right. So I'm going to show you some things. So I'm going to share my screen. And here we go. And let's see. So this is the Dropbox guidance document that I was talking about. And so now I'm going to go to the website. And let's see, where do I want to go there? Okay. What I'm going to do is go to, okay, this is Windows File Manager that you're looking at right now.
Wes,
Yeah.
can I ask a basic question?
Yes.
So it says on here, to look this up, we go to the UUCB Program Council Dropbox folder. Who has access to that?
Okay, everyone can get to that through, there's a Dropbox link that I've made a easier to remember link for. It's uubinghamton.org/PC for Program Council. So anytime you can go there and see that, just as the link.
Okay.
I guess that's always been my struggle is I had that link, I'm fine, but like how to find that link again, it's on some email, I can't remember. Like how do I get back to Dropbox if I don't have that link has always been my struggle.
Yeah.
So make yourself a document and paste that link into it and save it as links to UUCB stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now also on the website, I can put in the members section, I can put a little thing with in each of those that I've created the shorthand. I've also created uubinghamton.org/ref for UUCB reference, which I'm going to show you. So that's another one. So there's basically two big ones that I've created a easier to remember shorthand for, and I can put those in a little page that's right on the in the members section. And if we come up with other ones, I can add those.
Thank
So
you.
I think that would be helpful. Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
Yep. So someone make a list of things that I've agreed to do. Keep me honest with that.
I'll do that. I'll record your action items.
Great, perfect. And Tracy, that was great because ask questions as we go along because you'll think of stuff and just go ahead and ask. So so now what I'm going to do is you can see the this is sort of a Windows view of the entire Dropbox account that we have.
Right now I'm still seeing your document, your basic Dropbox guidance document.
Let's see, why didn't that change? If I'm sharing my screen, why doesn't it just move along as I'm?
No, you have to
Clicking that?
go back and change it.
Oh, every time I go somewhere else, I have to
can
stop sharing and
Depends
restart
on
it?
Depends on the window. If it's a tab in a window, you can switch tabs, I think. But if it's a different window, you have to switch to the different
Oh,
window.
I see a new share thing. That's let's see.
And I think when you start to share it, I think you can share your desktop, and I think that will allow you to
Yeah, that's what I want to do is, so I can just go anywhere I want on my desktop, right?
Okay,
And
well,
here
you
we
just did
are.
it.
That's good. We can see it now.
You can see it now, but I had to do this special new share thing, kind of clunky. So yeah, the desktop thing, that'd be great. So anyway, I know one way to do it. So every time I go somewhere else, I have to do this sort of new share thing. So you see up in what the entire Dropbox account is UUCB, and underneath that are I better go to reshare this now.
No,
No,
it's
we can
fine.
see
You did it?
It's fine.
Okay. It moved.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting this. Okay, so
So is this on your computer?
yes, it is. Let me go. Let's see. I'm thrown off because it's not it's just staying in one place here. Do new share again. Select a window or application you want to share. Okay, so now what do you see?
Well, we're seeing your taskbar that's down at the bottom and which we didn't see a moment ago.
And we're seeing the list of folders in the UUCB Dropbox.
Exactly. So that's where that's what I'm seeing too. So at the top, you see a Dropbox and then UUCB. And then so these are the highest level folders within the overall UUCB Dropbox folder structure. There's about 9 of them there. So what I want to do is just show you whenever you're using Dropbox, typically you just see a subset of this because just an administrator sees everything, but you'll see the pieces of the whole Dropbox that are pertain to you, like one for each of the committees that you're in, that you've been given edit access to, right? So if we go down to, see, there's one here for archives for older things. There's one for the Board of Trustees uses, in the committees. Here's this UUCB reference that I talked about before. Anybody can, this is meant to be things that people in the congregation might find useful. And so it's uubinghamton.org/ref is a way to get to the online version. So if I click on that, sort of see what's in it. Now, do you see that? Did it change for you? Okay.
Yep.
So I don't have to switch every one of them. Okay, so here are the folders within that. So you can see that there's things like let's see. The bylaws, the latest bylaws are in here. There is
Oh, the directory?
yeah, look at these from the board, from the LDR committee, from the property committee. These are things that are, if a committee has something that they kind of want to share with the congregation as a whole, let me know and I'll create one of these, from and then the name of your committee. And then you can put stuff in there, okay, that is visible through this UUCB reference folder that pretty much everybody can see, right? So it's a way of sharing things with the congregation. That's what I wanted to point out. So what I'm going to do is back up to the UUCB, and now I'm going to go to the UUCB committees folder. Now, do you see that then, the list of committees now?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, so there are a whole bunch of committees that currently have their own Dropbox folder. And if your committee doesn't yet have one, just let me know and I'll make one and get you set up with edit access to that new folder and you can put stuff in it.
Hey,
Um,
Wes,
Yep.
on the archive, so when do things get moved into the archives?
Right,
Are
let me go
the
back
old
to that.
minutes-
Yep.
Okay.
So
Okay.
going back, see this UUCB archives? That's the one you're talking about, right?
Mhm.
And I'll take a quick look in there and you can see there's different things. What I do is wait for things to get a few years old, you know, and then move them in there from where they were. And the whole idea is to keep a history of things while also keeping the other folders not too darn big. Because you probably know that a private Dropbox account that's free has a 2 gigabyte limit to the amount of space. And so you don't want these to get too big so that people, you know, doesn't fit into a free account anymore. So that's the general idea. And I don't move anything without checking with that group or committee to sort of suggest, okay, maybe some of the older things can be moved over there. But you can see like Board of Trustees, if I click on that, there's 3 years, you know, 3 old years. It's been a few years back. The most recent one is 2018-19. So you can see the Dropbox stuff goes back to about 2016-15 is how it doesn't go back much further than that. Okay.
Right. Wes, I have a question
Yeah,
regarding the
go ahead.
archive box there.
Yep.
Is that where the strategic plan, the last strategic plan would be located?
Oh, okay. Strategic plans. Okay. Okay. Let's no. I think the answer is no.
Okay,
Unless it's a really old one.
just the last one.
Oh, I see. Let me go back to that. Into the archives. The birth of the Binghamton model. That?
No,
Nope.
no.
So like are you talking about the long-term plan, Tim?
Yeah,
Like
the
the
last one.
5-year long-term range plan or whatever?
Would
Yeah,
that
but
be in,
Jeff was part and partial to it. and-
Yeah, that would be something
think
really
it's-
old.
would that be in reference?
I think it's in the reference file.
Well, this would
Okay.
just be old versions of these things. So let me go to
I know I found that when I was on the board. I'm trying to remember where it was. I think it
like
might have
to-
been in the reference folder.
There it is right there, Gary.
reference folder has in it, there's important papers. So let's see I'm not sure which one we're referring to here.
Well, you want
The paper-
long-term plan, don't you?
But there's another folder that's I can show you that's for, let's see. Yeah, in the there's one called UUCB procedures, and there's not too much in there. But things that have to do with policies, that's kind of a board thing. So those live under UUCB Board of Trustees policies. So see, there's all these each different year, but then there's this reference. So if you go into reference, that's where you get things like UUCB policies and some other things that are kind of not specific to any
There's
given year.
long range plan.
Yep. Okay. That makes sense, right? That's kind
Yeah.
of
Okay, it is under reference,
2014.
but just under board and then reference.
yeah, board and
So-
then reference, right? So you have to sort of, yeah, which makes sense. I mean, the UUCB reference is meant to be congregation interesting things, but everything that's kind of a focus for the board should really be under this UUCB Board of Trustees like this. So if you go into there and then reference, and then there's all these things, here's where the policies are kept. And there's even groups of, personnel policies, say for congregation. So these, ideally, we'd want all of our policies to be in here, but we haven't been doing this for what used to be paper things. And so you'll find some policies are not yet in here. We've tried to get them all in here, but over time, you should be able to find everything in here that are policies.
Great.
Okay. Keep the
But-
questions coming.
So,
Yes.
but I think to access the Board of Trustees folder, you need to be on the board. So like,
Yep.
like your regular, any just member of the congregation isn't going to have access to those folders, correct?
That's true. And so, it's not normally people outside the board who would normally would be interested in looking at UUCB policies. But in the case where that's true, then someone on the board could share that with them, or, give them a link to it or something.
Yeah.
But yeah. Now, see, this whole folder, we could change our minds and put it elsewhere. I could put it right under as a main directory under UUCB. Backing up, see there's this procedures. There could be UUCB policies right there.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
this could be restructured, but that was my thinking, that the policies are kind of a board responsibility, so I put them there. But there's no,
Well, I guess in
nothing
my
sacred
thought
about
is a
them.
lot of those policies are other committees are involved with, like the personnel committee. And I noticed that the space rental is in there, and that's kind of like what the outreach committee is working on. So I didn't realize that there was a spot there. So
Yeah, no, those should also be replicated under the committee where those policies apply. And there should just be a copy of that, it should
Oh.
be in both places, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
It seems like we kind of need a policy discussion of some kind about what can become public, and technically, I think it's everything but personnel and donations and things like that.
even personnel policies are probably okay,
Policies, yes, but
the
I mean,
policy itself, not
Well,
the specific
yeah.
information. Yeah, so, see, this is good because once y'all have an understanding of the overall structure of the entire, Dropbox account, you can get, we can change this around whatever seems to make sense. But that's where it is right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
So I'm gonna go back to the committees. And what I want to do next is I had made one called UUCB Personnel Committee. So I'll look in that. I'm not sorry, not that one. That's gonna the program council one, right? And so that's where this basic Dropbox guidance document is, and some things that Kate made about the buzz from program council and things like that. So I think what I was going to do was show you when you have a shared folders like this in your Dropbox, it's going to show up just like this. And then if you're in Windows and you do a right click, and some of this stuff is in this Dropbox basic stuff, you do a right click like I just did. You can still see what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so see where it says Dropbox under the pull down menu. I did the right click, and then I click on Dropbox, and then there's a few things you can do. See this sub menu? Let's do share. Okay, that's a good one to know what it does. So this one, it shows everyone who already has edit access to this committee folder, the UUCB Program Council folder. And you can see Kate and Sandra, Tracy, and myself all have access to this folder. So that means any of us can change things in that folder. And so if you wanted to add somebody else, anyone who already has edit access can add somebody else and give them added access by just typing up here that person's name or email address, and then sending that.
oh,
Okay,
Cool.
so I'll do that for myself. I have another account at iCloud.com, which is just for testing. And so I'll say that I'll I'll give myself edit authority at that. You can have multiple Dropbox accounts, one for each of your email addresses. Okay, and that's what I'm doing here. So you see how I'm invited to say share, right? So I'll do that. And what happens is that generates, Dropbox sends an email to that person is saying, oh, you've been invited to get edit access to, in this case, UUCB Program Council folder, and it gives you directions for how to add it to your own Dropbox account. Okay, so that's how that works on the sending end. So I'm going to go do this again with the right click and Dropbox. And instead of share, here's another thing that you can do. It's a copy Dropbox link. So these links we keep talking about, this is how you create a Dropbox link. If I click on that, then that creates in my clipboard, right? That's the word I was wanting. In my clipboard, that great big long Dropbox link goes. And so I don't know if you'll be able to see this. I just went over to my email. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I must have done the magic thing that does the complete sharing. So I'm going to do a compose an email, just a pretend one. And so down here, if I do a paste, then there's the Dropbox link. And I can send it to whoever I want. So that's how you
Cool.
share these links. Now, anyone who gets this Dropbox link can see what that links to. So you ought to be careful with Dropbox links. Don't send them out to people who really don't have a need to know. But that's how that works. So I'm going to go back to where I was. Let's see. I think this is where I was. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Yes.
We're back in the Windows File Manager now. So I think that's all I wanted to show you about that.
Well, wait, do you mind
Yep.
going back to that again? Just click on that.
Okay,
I don't-
a right click on that like I've been doing before, right? Go to Dropbox and then, yeah.
All right, so where it says request, request files, what does that mean?
That's a feature that I don't use and don't see that like every piece of software, there's all kinds of stuff it can do
Yeah.
that isn't really, I don't find all that helpful. So I can't even tell you exactly what request files does.
All right.
How's that? And send a copy, same thing. Oh, now here's one I want to show you. Oh, version history is useful, but I won't say much about it. But if you delete a file by mistake, I can probably get it back for you because there's this feature of Dropbox. It saves previous versions of files and even deleted files. So for a month, and you can get them back. So
That's good to know.
you make a mistake, don't panic. You can get them back. If you don't see how to get them back yourself, let me know and I can get it back for you probably. So that's a good thing to know.
Yeah.
Now here's another thing I want to show you from here it says view on Dropbox.com. And that's going to the online Dropbox interface, right? So far, we've been looking at how things look from Windows File Manager, for the Dropbox that's integrated into your account. But you can see the same stuff anytime you want on Dropbox.com. And this is one way to get there, view on Dropbox.com, in which case we will be seeing positioned right at the UUCB Program Council folder, see? So this is the online view. This is out on the cloud, and you're looking at what's out, it's sort of the that Dropbox view of what's going, you can see online that anyone, you know, without windows or anything, you can see here. And it's the same information. If over here, I can just go to Dropbox.com and you get to the same idea, right? That's going to get there too. That's going to go to the beginning of everything, like for this UUCB folder, but it's the same idea. This is the online view.
But Wes,
yeah.
you can't see this online thing unless you log in as to our Dropbox, right?
Right. However, yeah, the way Dropbox work, once you're logged in, it seems to persist. And so, like, I just went to Dropbox.com and it threw me right over to my active account.
Yeah, but you're an admin and you have a login. Most people do not have a login to the UUCB Dropbox. They only have a login to their own.
That's true. Okay, what someone else would see who's not an admin, you wouldn't see all this stuff. What you would see is your private Dropbox account, you know, that's and you'll see a subset of this, plus maybe some files and folders of your own that have nothing to do with UUCB. But you'll see it, so you'll see maybe just let's say you'll just see your own committee, like UUCB Program Council and your own committee. You'll see a subset of this stuff, right? That's what you'll actually see.
That's after you do the setup thing, which we're going to talk about soon, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Now, because we're going to switch over to Gay pretty soon, because the setup for the Windows, that setup stuff, I'm relying on this document that I created to get you through that. Like, so what it does, let me go back to that. Right in there. So do you see this basic Dropbox guidance now?
Yes.
Okay. Everything is working. So what it does go through, after some basic things that are kind of are like what I've told you about. After that, it gets into how to set up a free personal Dropbox account, which would be true regardless of whether you're on Windows or a Mac or whatever. You know, this process is always the same. Then, after you've done that, how to install the Dropbox desktop app. And these directions are for Windows. And so if you're on a Windows system, you would come here to this folder, you know, to this document and follow these directions to do that. But if you are on a Mac, then you would, this is where what Gay is going to talk to us about comes in. And maybe this is a good time, Gay, for you to share your screen and to tell us about that. And yeah, you're muted right now. There we go.
Yeah, so let me share my screen. So let's see. I know how to do this.
Hey, Becca has joined us.
Wes, do you have to stop sharing your screen?
Yeah, actually, Wes, you have
Oh,
to
I
stop
do? Okay. Yep. Thank you. Okay.
All right.
Got it. It's there.
Okay.
So the instructions, it turns out that the instructions for Windows, for the Mac, it's the only difference. So everything works basically the same, but you know, on your Mac, you have this this sidebar on the left.
Yeah.
And your goal is, when you download the Dropbox app, is to get it to show up here in the Finder on the Mac. And usually it'll show up somewhere down here and you can move it up to wherever you want to put it to make it easy. So same process as far as downloading the app, but once it's installed, it'll probably ask you if you want it to show in the Finder, and then you click yes. Okay, so then it'll show up in the Finder here, but there's one more step you got to do. It turns out you have to, this is the thing that Wes pointed out here where it says you're going to get an email. It's going to say add Dropbox.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so same for the Mac, but there's one more step, which is you have to go up to this little Dropbox icon up here and click on it and then click on notifications. There's a tab called notifications, and it'll have a notification for this for a new folder from, say, UUCB reference if you wanted to add that, and you can click join. Okay, so first you add to Dropbox. This is the email you get when somebody shares a link from UUCB to you. Okay, so your Dropbox is all set up and somebody sends you a link and you want to add that to your Dropbox. And so you click that, and then you have to also join that folder on the Mac. And once you do that, you'll know you're successful because that folder will show up in your Dropbox drive on the Mac, and it'll have these two little people in the folder icon, which means it's a shared folder.
Oh, okay.
All right. So that's really, as near as I can tell, it's really the only difference for the Mac. It's just how it shows up on your Finder.
So Gay, once that's all done, then everything should look pretty normal for a Mac user as far as adding files and folders to that folder.
Yeah.
It's sort of business as usual, right? Same idea as you are if you're on Windows.
Yep.
Everything should just be normal as if it's part of your own computer.
Right. And what it does, I found out that now you do have to be, well, most people this isn't a problem, but if you have a really huge Dropbox, it basically stores Dropbox stuff on your local disk drive and syncs it to the cloud. And it does this to make it faster to access things. And that's all fine and dandy as long as you don't have a huge Dropbox, because, if you've only got a 500 gigabyte disk drive and you've got a 1 terabyte Dropbox, then that could be a problem. But for most people, that's not a problem. I've heard complaints about, people that create videos and things, that could be an issue. But for us, I don't think, I have a pretty darn big Dropbox right now, but it still fits on my Mac hard drive. So, okay.
Yeah, I think for Windows users, I don't think we run into that problem. It kind of defaults to just keeping it out on the cloud. And so you shouldn't run into that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, you can choose when you're setting up Dropbox, you can choose that. You can choose to only have it on the cloud and not on your local
it's an option, because sometimes you want to work offline and have things right on your computer. You can do that.
Yeah, you don't have to.
Now, one of the things that I discovered was that when I set up the Dropbox app on my Mac, it automatically connected to everything on my phone. So all the Dropbox information on my phone went right to the Mac.
That's true. Yeah, that'd
That's
be
what
true
I like
for Windows too.
Apple stuff.
your Dropbox account is just the one thing, and wherever you're looking, whatever device you're looking at it from, you see the same thing.
Okay.
Yep. One thing
Start off, Christine.
Yep.
Can't hear you.
Oh, you got unmute.
Mute.
There we go.
That's only if you have, it'll sync up only if you have an iPhone, right? Yeah,
right.
yeah.
It's the Apple to Apple.
Apple to Apple, yeah. Yeah, I have a Mac computer, but I have a Samsung phone, so that won't work.
I would say that if you, with your Android computer, if you download their Dropbox app, that should show you the same things. That's what I would expect. If you put in the same account, the Dropbox account information, I think you should be able to see it on any device. That would be what I would expect. I didn't mention that for iPhones, for I do have Dropbox on that, and when you have it on your smartphone, let's see. So here's, and if you can see my cell phone here and see the Dropbox icon.
Mm-hmm.
So that was downloaded from the App Store, and it just sort of self-installs, and it probably will ask you for your Dropbox account information. So there's your email address and your password for that. Once you put that in, what you should see is exactly what you see on your desktop. So in my case, you can see that I've gotten into that. It's really helpful oftentimes to hold it sideways because some of these names are long. But I've never tried to use, I don't know that you can actually make updates from your smartphone. I haven't tried that, and I always, it's so much easier to do that from a laptop. So I just use that for viewing the files if I'm out and about. That's what it's good for, I think. Okay, so more questions? I think I've covered a lot of what I was going to talk about.
I did have a question for you, Gay. So if I have information in Google Drive, Google Docs, that's where I keep everything. If I want to transfer that to Dropbox, do I have to do that one item at a time?
I don't think so. I think you can just select all of them and then drag and drop them. Drag and drop into Dropbox. So open two windows on your, open your Finder.
Yeah.
And open the folder you want to put it in,
Yeah.
and then open your Google Drive.
Okay.
And select all the files, and then drag and drop them into. I think that'll work.
Okay, open Finder and then Google Drive. Okay, I'll give that a try.
The alternative is to just select all the files you want to transfer from Google Drive, and then when you click download, then it allows you to select a folder to download them to, and select your Dropbox folder.
Yeah, and
Download them too.
download them right where
That should work too.
Yeah.
Okay.
So one thing about Google Drive is that it goes way beyond Dropbox in terms of ability to do sharing of working on files together and documents, creating documents. So my suggestion is, if you really want to do that and really interact with 2 or more people to create a document, you might want to do that on Google Drive, and then once it's stable and you're kind of done with it, stick it on Dropbox.
Well, I was thinking in terms of files that people might need after I'm no longer on the committee.
Exactly, right. That's a good reason, yeah.
I would pick and choose certain things to be able to put in Dropbox so those people can find the information.
Yep. And it's okay also to leave all your stuff right there on Google Drive, as long as you tell the new people how to get out there. There's no requirement to use Dropbox if a committee doesn't want to. Or it could be a mix and match of most of our stuff's in Dropbox, but this other stuff is over here. That's all right.
Yeah, except Google Drive. Google Drive can be a hassle because it keeps asking you to ask for access and crap. I think Dropbox is better.
I think it's best for the congregation, have everything in one place. Everyone knows where to go and find it, because
right.
No one's going to remember that Sandra put her stuff on Google Drive and everyone else has it on Dropbox or something,
And if I try to share something with people who don't have Gmail, they have trouble accessing it.
Right.
Yeah, it's true too.
Well, I just want to make a point, though, that what Wes was saying a moment ago, and where Google Docs is really wonderful, is that I've been on a number of committees, like national committees, and we create a Zoom meeting just like this, and then we share a Google document, and we can all edit it live, and we can see everything that's
really
happening.
good at that.
It's
right.
Yeah, it's good at that.
You can't do in Dropbox.
So
and that's
for real-time
really
collaboration, that's great. And then, but you get it stable, you can put it in Dropbox.
Right.
Get the best of both worlds.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I had two more little comments. I think I've shown you everything I wanted to show. But one thing is privacy and security. It's good to think about, with this Dropbox stuff, okay, who can see what? And because, like, say that you're a personnel committee, you might want to be careful about what you have in there. So every committee should think about that. Usually there's no problem, but if you have something in Dropbox, then you can assume that anyone who has access to your committee's folder can see that, right? But any of us admins can also see that, okay? So that's something to keep in mind. So from a privacy security point of view, just that's sort of the situation there. So I wanted to mention that. Yeah.
So who are all the admins, Wes?
So I'm basically the admin mostly, but Ed Ware has access to it. He's sort of my backup, and he doesn't usually get involved. And then Karen is an admin, and that's because we want her to be able to get at easily everything that's in the whole UUCB structure there. So she has that.
And
So,
I'm also able to see everything,
yeah, right.
because at one point I was supposed to be, like the backup. So
Yep. And we can unadmin Gabe, but she's kind of involved still, especially with the Mac side of things. So it might be good to keep that. So that's just be aware of, who can see what, because usually it's just fine, but that's something to be aware of.
So along those lines, so I had you create this outreach folder for the outreach committee, and I'm looking in here and it says, there's a column that says who can access. It's only listing like 2 members. It's me and UU Binghamton.
Hang on.
Like,
Let me go there right
I know
now.
that I've sent that link out to the committee people, so would it only show, maybe nobody in the committee tried to access it? I don't know. I was surprised when I'm looking at this now and seeing that. It's like I have all the meeting minutes in there and
Can you see the screen sharing now?
yeah.
Can everybody see that?
Yes.
Okay, so outreach, UUCB outreach, let's go there. Wait, let me do a right click on that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And go to why don't I see that?
Manage permissions?
Let me go there again.
It says there's only 2 members.
Yeah.
Does she need to add more members?
Can you go to manage permissions?
Well, I'm stuck because I don't see the Dropbox thing to click on there. Okay, here's membership committee. I don't want to go in.
I think when the right click, it's different. I think if you're on the web version versus if you were in your
wait a
file
minute.
folder,
Yeah,
because
I think I was mistakenly in the web version.
yeah, because I've only used it from the web version and I tried it and I wasn't getting the same drop down that you were.
Right. So now I'm on the Windows File Explorer, which I had wanted to be. So go to Outreach, then I do a right click.
Okay, now we're not seeing.
Yeah, we're not seeing
Now you're
that
not
now.
seeing. Okay, so I'll do new share. And share. Is that help?
No.
No.
Let's see.
Confusion.
So
Oh,
the top?
new share. And then maybe now I can't see what it is that I wanted to go to.
You're on.
How's that? Do you see something there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, now
okay.
I'm going to go into committees. Are we good now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Outreach. Now I'll do a right click on that. And there it says Dropbox. And I'll do a share. So yeah, it's just Tracy's just you And this UU Kong, that's me. That's the admin ID. See, it's actually it@uubinghamton.org.
Mm.
We're not
So
seeing
those are the
that.
We're
only
not
two.
seeing that. We're not seeing that.
Wes, do you have to give these other people authority to access this?
Yes, or Tracy could also. Anybody who has edit access can give anybody else edit access too.
But through the app, not the web.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yes.
Through
that's
the
what I've
app,
just been
not the web. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
go to
That's
the Windows view of things, Windows File Manager, and then do this right click thing.
okay. I
to
guess
see
that's
that.
one thing I don't have set up. I'm not sure how to. That's in your instruction sheet there, how to set that up.
Yeah, and maybe the easiest thing would be for me to kind of
I can't just share like.
yeah, I could probably send you another invite. Right? I could disenroll you from this and revoke your edit authority. See, I could remove that and I could give it to you again. TL Hollins 22, Tracy Hollins. So I'm going to do that.
We can't see you doing it if you are.
You can't see that?
Nope.
Yeah, when does it track what I'm doing and when does it not?
Wes, try sharing your desktop. That might give you full access to anything you do.
Okay, how do I share the desktop?
It should be just one of the options available to when you hit share screen.
Okay, so
Next to view options?
I'll do a stop sharing first. And then I will do a share screen.
Yay.
And then where do I see the,
It would be whatever is on your desktop at the moment.
okay, so it says screen. Like
Okay.
that.
That's the only
Yeah.
option you have. It doesn't.
Yeah, it's not clear which one I would do.
What is it? What does it say?
Well, what's showing, actually, there's nothing, I don't see anything that shows me exactly an image of my desktop.
Hmm.
But it's
Maybe
basic, advanced, and files. Yeah, so I don't know. And I blundered into the right answer before, but I don't know what I did.
What did you want to show us? See if that's visible and share that.
Yeah, okay. Let's see now.
We're a small group.
Let's try this. Now you see something, right?
Yeah.
We see the folder structure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we don't, it's still not the desktop, but that's okay.
Yeah, let's see what you can see if this follows. So I'm going to outreach now with the right click. You see that change?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And I do a share.
Mhm.
So
And then you don't see
And
anything.
then we don't see where it went from there.
oh, you don't see that. Okay. Yeah. So
You
what
know,
I had done
It
was
might have gone behind there, yeah.
yeah, I deleted and then I re-gave Tracy edit access, and then so that should generate a new email, Tracy, to you from
Right.
Dropbox, so you can actually try again to follow those directions and get that added to your Dropbox account.
And then she can add members.
Yes, because especially if she can see that then as part of her from Windows File Explorer like I'm doing, then yes.
Well, I clicked add Dropbox and it just, it opened up the web version. I guess I don't have it set up so it goes to my Windows.
Yeah, if you don't have the app set up yet, you're not going to be able to do it.
If you don't, you gotta download and install the Dropbox app onto your Windows system. And that would be the
Oh.
instructions that I do have in the Dropbox basics document.
Okay.
That
Yeah,
follow
I'm on my
that.
work computer and my IT department probably won't allow me to do that. They don't let me. I'll have
Okay.
to do that on my personal computer, I guess. I'll try that.
Okay. As a homework exercise.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay. I didn't realize that there was a difference or that it worked
Yeah, there
differently.
is. Yeah, that's one concept, is there's this online version, and then there's the one that you can see right from your integrated into your file structure, be it either Windows or a Mac. And
Okay,
that's what's much more useful, because then you can add and subtract files just as if it were your own files. So that's
okay,
what you
cool.
want. Yeah.
Yeah,
If you're doing any updating, that's what you really want.
right. Okay, cool.
Okay. So that's about all I have. I have one last thing, but Gay, do you have anything else for now?
No,
So my last thing is, okay, what do you do when you get stuck in the future, right? Okay, so the general thing is, send me an email about it. And sometimes it's useful to create a screenshot of this sort of the area where you're stuck, so I can see what you're seeing, and have that be an attachment to the email. And then a couple things might happen. I might know the answer right away, in which case I'll just reply, and you'll probably be all set. Or if it's something kind of tricky and I'm puzzled, then what we might do is set up a little private Zoom meeting just with my own little Zoom account, where we can, look at I can look at what you're seeing with shared screens, and or we can just have a phone meeting, right, where we can both be looking at our respective computers, something like that. So another option sometimes is you could actually bring in your laptop to church sometime when we're both there, and we could look at it together. So those are just some things that we might do to get you straightened out.
So Wes, are you admin because you're clerk, or will you
Nope.
continue to be
No, it has
doing?
nothing to do with being a board clerk.
Ah, okay, thank
It's
you.
totally independent. Yeah.
Well, I
So
have to say that I've really appreciated how quickly you respond to any questions I've had.
yeah, so that I'll be around for that. And so, and now yeah, with Mac related questions, Gay's available for that. And I'm going to ask Gay to send me some of these screenshot things, so I can add some stuff to that document for the Mac case. So but yeah, a lot of things are not specific to either Windows or a Mac or anything, and so those I can usually answer those.
Well, I think this has been terrific. I guess what I'd like to say is, so Tim, you've sort of been taking minutes as to what it is that Wes needs to
Yeah,
aid or
send
change.
me an email with that.
Just one action item that I know of regarding the website and posting those shortcuts that you mentioned.
All right,
When
okay.
applied to the program council and the reference file.
Yep, okay, that's
And
good.
I just want to remind people, I'm still recording this, so at some point really soon, I should stop this, and then Wes and I can talk about where this file is going to end up.
So
Okay,
I just wanted to say that perhaps people could work on the information that you've imparted to us. And we'll have one more meeting in December, and we can answer any other questions that people have. And then those who weren't able to get on or weren't able to view this could be given some instruction. Does that sound okay?
that sounds great. Because those who were here can try out some of these things and then maybe have more questions for the second round.
Right, right.
We'll be
And
able to
people-
tell you where we got stuck. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Where'd you get stuck?
Why don't we say thank you to Wes and Gay and all of you who's
Yay.
helped with
Thank
getting
you
us.
very much.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, this is very helpful. Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you, Jeff.
Thank
Yes.
you, Jeff.
Want to stop the recording and you had other questions?